Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the TV6 Digital Desk live stream. My name is Molly Birch, and I'll be taking you through a recap of today's headlines. This stream runs every night starting at 8 to 7 Central Time from Sunday to Thursday. Feel free to comment and ask any questions you have in the chat as you feel like it, and I'll do my best to answer those questions as we go and after the stream as well. With all of that business out of the way, let's take a look at our first story for tonight. Mount Bohemia is finally open for the season. Hundreds of skiers and snowboarders hit the slopes covered in 4 feet of powder. New features this year include 3 new runs and 2 new saunas. Due to winning USA Today's #1 ski resort in North America award in December, the resort is seeing interest from states such as New York and Georgia. Many have various reasons for visiting, whether coming from far away or right next door.
It's literally like having all of the best resorts compressed in a small area. The uniqueness of the yurts, the people, the small community, it is the most unique place I've ever skied.
It's always the best conditions. I never have a bad time here. Everybody's in good spirits. It's a great time here.
The resort is aiming for mid-April to wrap up the season, but could go longer. And during this cold, we need to protect our most vulnerable. That includes our pets as well. Animal control officers say they do see an uptick in calls they receive when the temps are this cold. Neighbors, mail carriers, and concerned residents all call them when they see pets outside. Pets being outside in the snow or cold is not illegal as long as they have adequate shelter, food, and drinkable water. With temps of around 5 degrees outside, dog owners should not be leaving pets outdoors for extended periods of time.
It's minutes. It's really pretty serious situation. Especially a lot of your short-coated dogs, fine-coated dogs like your pit bulls, your boxers. They just don't have the warm coat to keep them adequately insulated in this type of weather.
Officers are also reminding us that some dogs with a thin coat have a harder time dealing with the cold. And recent snowfall has brought large snowbanks to Marquette County. The Michigan State Police has some tips to help you safely navigate the roads around these snowbanks. The MSP says the best way to stay safe is to slow down and use extra caution on the roads. Troopers also recommend assuming other drivers can't see you and being prepared to stop if someone pulls in front of you. The MSP says you should always be prepared when driving in winter.
We don't know what to expect one day from the next, so we have to make sure that our vehicles are prepared, make sure there's enough gas in our vehicles, make sure that the tires are ready, make sure you have an emergency kit ready just in case something happens where you're going to be stranded for a little bit, and giving yourself those extra few minutes every day to get to your final destination.
Janunzio says now is a good idea to make sure your car is brushed off, including your headlights and license plate. And as snow piles up in parts of the UP, that's not the case everywhere. For snowmobilers, there are trails that aren't ready yet to ride. In Marquette County, some people are already started riding their snowmobiles. But the Michigan DNR says right now might not be the best time to go riding. The DNR UP Trails Coordinator says there are multiple dangers that could arise from early season riding or riding with low snowfall.
We recently had some situations in the eastern Upper Peninsula where snowmobiles actually sunk, because they got into those wet areas that hadn't been packed in yet. So that you can do quite a bit of damage to your snowmobile. Rocks and stuff will come up through the snow, can hamper your steering.
To see how to check Michigan's trail conditions, go to uppermichigansource.com or the TV6 and Fox UP mobile news app. The Dickinson Trail Network is fundraising to buy new trail grooming equipment. The nonprofit hopes a new snowmobile could make for a higher quality finish. Dickinson Trail Network board member Merlin Calkins estimates the new gear could reduce total trail time from 5 to 3 hours. He says trail partner UP Sport and Spoke helped secure the best price for the machine.
They were able to secure some additional help through BRP, which does do some incentives for nonprofits and which gave us a cost savings on the new machine.
The DTN grooms dozens of miles of trails from Iron Mountain to Norway. And after postponing its opening due to the weekend snowstorm, a new business is officially open in downtown Marquette. TV6's Michael Sobek tells us what the Four Swords Retro Pub plans to offer.
Located in the Masonic Center in downtown Marquette, Four Swords Retro Pub offers classic arcades, classic game consoles, and Japanese food. Four Swords Retro Pub owner Anthony Lewis says he hopes to bring his passion for Japanese food and gaming to the Marquette community.
It feels kind of like a safe little haven in here, and like you can just come get away from, you know, the rest of Marquette if you want, and have a cozy little place, and yeah, sit down in a game and just have that, you know, I mean, that nostalgia.
Lewis has been a chef for many years and a fan of arcades for even longer. He says the arcade is a great way to meet new people and fans of your favorite shows or games.
The opportunity to really go head to head with other gamers, to come into a place where you can meet somebody else who's interested in the same content you are and to share that experience with them, whether it's a new challenger in Street Fighter or somebody else to dance with on Dance Dance Revolution.
Four Swords will host events for fighting games, racing games, and even have cartoons in the mornings. The new business also plans to host tournaments for a variety of games every month with prizes you can win. Owner Sadie Lewis says they plan to get involved with the community as much as possible.
As we've been renovating and getting everything ready, people popping by and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this existed. And we're like, yeah, we're just opening up. And I know they do like the ladies' night and like different events that happen within the mall, so that will also be a great way for people to, you know, hear that we're open.
Four Swords Retro Pub is open Wednesday to Sunday at 11 o'clock in the morning. Michael Sobek, TV6 News, Marquette.
Thank you, Michael. The Ishpeming Carnegie Public Library is challenging your kid to read 1,000 books before kindergarten. Families could come in for crafts, snacks, and games, as well as plenty of books for kids. Kids who also read at story time events at the library will also have those books count. Sign up is free to everybody, and a library card is not needed. Ishpeming Public Library children's librarian says early reading is a great start for kids.
By reading early, I mean, you're getting them ready to learn print and words and the letters and letter sounds. So, I mean, it's just, you're setting them up with a great skill set right from the start.
Kids who complete the challenge will receive a prize to recognize their achievement. And what started as a group of strangers heading to the Lions' first playoff game in 32 years ended with a friendship after a series of travel snafus. Lifelong Lions fan Gary Howell planned to fly straight from Esky to Detroit this past Friday, but his flight was rerouted to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania after the Detroit airport closed due to the winter storm. When Howell learned of his flight out of Pittsburgh was delayed, he took action.
I can't risk sitting here until 4:50 just to be delayed again. I got a game to get to. So yelled out, who wants to rent a minivan? So a bunch of strangers all pitched in and we got a minivan and we drove 4.5 hours from Pittsburgh to Detroit.
Howell is heading back to Detroit this weekend for the game. He hopes his travel plans go smoothly, but he says either way, the memories he's making are priceless. And that's all the stories we have for you tonight. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night, where I'll be here in the same place at the same time. That's 8/7 Central Time with a recap of tomorrow's headlines. Don't forget you can find us streaming on Facebook or YouTube, whichever platform you'd prefer. And if you have a story idea you think we should report on, feel free to contact us at any time. These are a few easy ways to get a hold of both myself and others in the newsroom. And again, you can contact us at any time. We'd love to hear from you and what's happening in your community. Thank you all again for joining me live at the TV6 Digital Desk. Have a great rest of your night.